Hi, this is Freaky. Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and today, as it is my first video of October, I thought we would start by lighting a little candle to bring in the Halloweeny vibe, the spooky season vibe, the Halloween spirit. So I bought this the other day from B&M for like a £5. It is pumpkin pie flavoured apparently, but it smells like really cinnamony. But yeah, I just really want to get into the Halloween spirit this year. Like, I've already started watching some scary films. I've been listening to like Halloween ambience in my room and stuff like that. So expect lots of Halloween themed videos this month. I'm really wanting to lean into it and really get into it. So I guess I'm just gonna light the candle and we'll get on with today's video. Right, so yeah, I mean, today's video is gonna be quite chill, quite relaxed. It's just gonna be more conversational. So if you are doing some housework or you just want something to listen to in the background, feel free to put me on the other tab or other screen, make yourself a coffee, and let's get into it. So today I'm going to be playing with and talking about the Monster High Silly Shy Inner Monster doll, finally. Now before we really get into it, I just want to give you a little bit of backstory about what the hell this even is. So back when Monster High was first about, there was this big part of the community that were really into customizing dolls. So Mattel's response to that was to make the Create a Monster line. Now the Create a Monster line started off really simple. You just had different body molds, different accessories, different heads, different wigs to just make some really simple monsters. But they really provided like a really solid base for people to make what they wanted to do. All the pieces for everything fit together, so you could make like a hybrid monster. They had like vampires, they had mermaids, they had bee-girls, they had loads of different things going on. So you basically just had a whole array of tools, really simple tools to create something for yourself. The best thing about Create a Monster really was the fact that it was so innovative, and with every line they added new gimmicks, new things, new ways that you could play with it. For example, like one of the first ones they did was like a lab where the body and the face was completely plain, and you could stamp on your own facial designs and things on the body and stuff to create a monster just for you. They also had things like, I made a video about this one as well. They had a line that was like heat reactive. They had like a cold pen and a hot pen, and you could draw on the doll, you could draw on the dress, the makeup could change colour depending on if you like heated it up or cooled it down, so did the wig. So they had loads of really exciting ideas. Now, as it sounds like, they went really far with Create a Monster, and eventually it led them to making the Inner Monsters. But what was really cool about this is it really took the idea of customization to another level. You had so many different ways to play with the doll and to customize it and to change the outfits, change the body parts, change the wigs, change the eyes. There's so much going on here. So with all that preamble out the way, we're going to start building this girl, and we're just going to have a little conversation about all the different things that this doll can do. So we're going to start with the head. Now this is quite like a Blythe doll, the way that you can change the eyes and the way that they look and everything like that. This doll also has a function similar to that. So the first way really that you can customize this doll is the eyes. Now on the brain, just here, you can slot this in and the eyes will change. And you've got a couple of different like things going on, different ways to customize, different kind of like looks and aesthetics. The first one is quite buggy to me. It's quite naturey. It kind of looks like insect eyes. The next one, to me, this is so whimsical and fun. This is kind of like giving me like fairy. This is kind of giving me like almost like they've accidentally like inhaled some spores and they've kind of like gone on a little trip. And they're just confused and all over the place. And the last ones are quite like wistful. They're a bit more normal, staring off into the distance. Now, I really want to get into this because this is super interesting as well. And this kind of like ties into the theme of the Inner Monsters, which is expression of emotion. I almost feel like Mattel were trying to give kids a way to understand and have conversations about their emotions. It's very subtle, it's very like underpinned, and you can kind of ignore that if you wanted to, but it's there, and I think that's really admirable. So all of the dolls come with a torso, but the torso is like see-through. So inside, if I can get in properly, you've got this like very plain rib cage. Now it is kind of like, it's a bit grim, it's very like body horror kind of vibes, but the thing about this is, as you can see, there's these little like holes in the rib cage and then in the spine. And the point of these is that the doll, along with the fashion, along with the face plates and the wigs and the back pieces and the shoes and all that, they came with these little things called emotions. So what you can do with that is just slot your emotions in. Now this one, I'm using the ones from the fashion pack just because when I originally bought this, it didn't come with any basically. So you've got a couple of different emotions. Like for example, you've got a little Jack in the Box Monster High Skullette, which is meant to be like the silly vibe. You've got a Jester hat as well, which leans into the silly vibe. You've got a little ice cream, so I guess like a little hungry vibe. And then you've got a really cute pair of like geeky glasses with a heart. So like a crush maybe. So these slot in to the torso. So I'm gonna just pop them in. And what I really like about this is that I probably said it already, but you're giving kids the tools to have conversations about how they feel. I think when I was a kid, I think I would have understood this. I was quite a little sensitive soul, so I think I would have picked up on this and been like, oh. And I think that would have been really useful, really, to just kind of like think about how I feel. And it's another way to customize the doll, really, isn't it? And I just think that this is really cool that Mattel even thought that this would be the kind of thing that maybe some kids would understand. And it's a fun play gimmick, but it also does have like a little underpinning message. And some kids would have got this. Some kids would have been like, I see what you're trying to say, and I'm going to use this information and see, how do I want to express my feelings? Do I want to share my feelings? Do I want to keep them to myself? And yeah, I guess it's cute as well because it ties into this idea of like an inner monster and the things that are inside you, and you might not understand them properly and you might not know how to express them properly, but they're still there. And everybody has these thoughts and feelings. You're not the only person that's tackling things by yourself. I guess to wrap all that up, just like a way of like giving kids access to emotional thoughts and feelings and a bit of empathy for other people as well. So basically, once you've got those in, you can just pop this back into pop the torso back on, and it covers them up a little bit and the clothes will cover them up. But at the end of the day, you know what you've done in here and you know you've decided how you want this to be. And it's fun and it's creative and another way to customize the doll. Now, these work just like other inner monsters. You can just pop on the limbs, and these limbs have a really nice color scheme. So the vibe across this whole set is orange, green, and purple. Now, these dolls have really nice like ombre. So you start up here and it's like quite a light orange, then it goes into a much darker orange. So I'm gonna pop her together and then we're gonna have a look at like the actual fashion pieces that she comes with. I've unfortunately been sick, like not really, really badly sick, but I've been not well. I've got the beginning of a cold. So I've been trying my best to counteract that and get sleep and rest and eat well, just because nobody wants to be ill. If you like being ill, leave a comment down below because we need to have a chat. We're almost done now, but it's the same with like, so the legs have the ombre, the arms and the hands have the ombre as well. I don't know if that really shows up on camera properly, but it's really like, I mean, I suppose as well, orange is very in the season right now, very autumnal, very Halloween-y. So I guess this is the best time to be doing this. And then obviously the head will pop on. Now, obviously she's a bit of a bald queen, but this means that she can change her eyes. She does actually come with a wig. So this wig is really nice actually. I haven't styled it or combed it properly. I washed it when I first got it, but it's just kind of been sat on the side. So it's a little bit not so wonderful. She looks really sweet with this on, like really, really sweet. But that's not all. So you'd think, okay, right, you can customize the eyes, you can customize the hair. That's not all the customization that comes with the heads. There's another aspect which I think is super, super cool. So these dolls come with really like minimal makeup. There's not much going on. So how do you customize that? Well, they came with these really, really cool faceplates. Wait, right, I can't, and now I've thought of this, I have to take this opportunity. Wait. Hi, this is freaky. So anyway, so you've got the eyes, you've got the wig, and you've got these faceplates, and what I really love about them is like, as a little standalone piece, they really remind me like Venetian masks, which I used to have a massive obsession with. Anyway, they slot on, so either side, can you see the little dints on the head? The masks just click on really easily, and it's a way that you can customize the makeup without having to paint it, which I think is super, super cool. Now, this faceplate is very plant, very fairy, very cute. They only came with one, but since I've got her faceplate on, I'm gonna get her dressed, and the fashions are actually pretty good quality, to be completely honest. Like, they're a bit camp, obviously. They're very like Monster High, like not serious. They're just printed patterns, but they're pretty decent quality. So these clothes have a theme of like underwater octopus, kind of like deep sea, versus like fairy, earth, leafy, planty kind of vibes. So you'll see that throughout all of the accessories. So I'm gonna get her dressed, and I guess we'll just explore the leafy fairy side before we look at the other one. I find the colour scheme for this doll to be so attractive. I think it's because you've got like my favourite colours. You've got this like seafoam green, and you've got these different like clashing purples, which I really love. And I think it just comes together really nicely, and it looks so good. Right, so these are the base fashion. It's a really simple outfit. It's a two-piece. I think it looks really cute. And then everything else that we put on top of this now is gonna decide basically, do you want her to be like a leafy fairy, or do you want her to be like an octopus like kind of monster? So as I said before, because we've got this faceplate on, let's go with the fairy vibe. And then she's got these sunnies that she can wear, which is a shame to cover up the makeup, but let's just really lean in hard. And then she's got this really cool backpack. Now, from the stock pictures, it looks like it's supposed to be this way, more of like a crown, like a big back piece. But I kind of prefer it flipped over, and it kind of looks more like a skirt and like a train. So you've got loads of really interesting details. You've got vines, you've got leaves, you've got thorns. And this is super simple as well. It just goes around her waist, and you can attach it and then wrap the vines around her arms. What I really like about the Inner Monsters is just that there's this emphasis on the customization and deciding yourself what you want to do with the doll, but it doesn't require any rerouting or repainting. It just gives you lots of tools and just goes, have fun. It's really simple. Away you go. And this is, you know, it looks a bit wild with the sunglasses on. I think the sunglasses kind of take you out, but you've got this really cool, like, do you know what I mean? Like leafy fairy. It's almost like she's got really little wings at the back, and she's just flitting about, and it just looks really cute. And the wig's a bit messed up, but the other thing about the wigs is the fact that they're soft. So you can, I've like scalped her, but you can change how that hairline is getting further and further back every time I do that, but it doesn't really get in the way. So while we're here, why don't we have a little look at the octopus one instead? Right, so we'll take the faceplate off. So she's kind of gone back to her like default place right now. And then all the other stuff is like octopus themed. So you've got these really cool shoes, and you've got the backpack, and it's just so fun to kind of like mix and match and try and see what you can put together. I'm the kind of person where it's like all the octopus pieces have to go together and all the fairy pieces have to go together, but you don't have to do that. You could have a little octopus fairy. You could have like a wet plant. She also came with a little bag. So this is what our little octopus kind of queen looks like. She's looking super cute. I actually like this quite a lot. It's much simpler than the fairy bits, but it's cute. So that was all the stuff from the base pack. So we had a fairy, we had an octopus, but they all released with an add-on pack, which kind of added another layer to the fashion and another idea and more emotions to express and more bits and pieces to play with and to customize with. Now, this one, the add-on pack, kind of leans into the silly side of the silly shy Inner Monster, and it's all about clowns, it's all about funny, it's meant to be whimsical and fun, while still having aspects of the leafy stuff. So let's get her changed and have a little look at the pieces from the add-on pack, because I'm obsessed with this, and it is by far, out of all the Inner Monsters, she's my favourite, but also her add-on pack I think is the best executed and best idea. Now that I've got her undressed, it's time to talk about one of the coolest parts about this add-on pack, which is the faceplate. Now, this faceplate is quite understated, but leans into the clown aspect, but also, if you can see, she's got a little sticky out tongue. Wait, can I do it again? This is nightmare fuel. Anyway, so she's got a little sticky out tongue, which is super cute, and I love it so much. I just think this is super cute. So in the add-on pack, they obviously came with a wig as well that you could use, but they were like plastic wigs instead. But I think out of all of them, this one, it makes the most sense. It's very clowny, it's very specifically styled, and it just looks so good. Look at this. I love this so much. This is just super cool. Like, there's so many things that I could say about this line, and I'm probably repeating myself, but the creativity that you can express without having to paint or reroute or whatever, like there's just this is just such a fun and well executed idea. Now I'm going to pop her dress on because I think easily this is going to be what I display her in, just because I think this is just so cute. And also it's kind of a little bit of like a throwback, I guess, to the Freak de Chic line. They already had like a line that was like clowny, but I think this does it as well. It's like it's a camper version, and it's just super well executed. I look at this dress, comes with a little collar ruff, and it really takes it there. Really takes it there. And the printed fabric, you've got these little like diamonds on, and you've got Monster High skullettes, and it's just really takes it where it needs to be. Like I love this so much. And then she's got other shoes. The best part about the accessories for this add-on pack as well is that they stay in like the squiddy, leafy thing, so they can go along with the other pieces as well. So you've just got loads of cohesive pieces to play with. Why do I keep rhyming all the time? Not cohesive pieces. Anyway, these shoes are cute as well because they've got a bit of painted detail at the front, so they're quite leafy, planty. And then you've also got like the tentacle kind of like heel, and then you've got these like leg warmers and arm warmers as well, and I just love it. I just think this is super well done and so much fun. I've said it already, but the color story is so good. Like I just love the purples and the oranges and the greens. It just really like, it hits the right marks. And this is how I'm going to be displaying her, just because I love the clowny, whimsical, fun aesthetic of this. And even though this is a plastic wig, I think it really does the job really well. And there's nothing to mess around with, and there's no hair that's going to fall out. It's just a really simple plastic piece that really like leans into the theme of the add-on pack. Right, I've been filming for a little while, and I thought that maybe I would just kind of like summarize what I think about this, because I don't even know if anything I've said previously has been a cohesive thought. So I'll give you my best cohesive, precise thought possible right now. I really love the idea of the inner monsters, and I really feel like they are a natural progression, but also kind of like the peak of the design and idea. I think giving kids ways to customize dolls is something that you don't really see that much anymore. I mean, Rainbow High has the Colour and Create line, which seems to be going well because they're on like wave 3 or 4 now. You had LOLOMG with the head swaps, which aren't necessarily like huge customization, but there is kind of like evidence of companies trying to give kids something similar to this, but obviously it just doesn't go this in depth. And I don't know if this is the kind of thing that companies would make anymore, because this seems so heavily involved. Like so much thought has to go into this. So much thought has to go into like the mechanism of changing the eyes and how the faceplates stick on and the design aesthetic. And I just think it's super cool. Mattel really thought about this and really took time and spent time with the line and innovated through loads of different iterations until you got here and were like, here is the magnum opus. Here is a really involved way that you can customize without having to really get your hands dirty. Like, you don't have to reroute, you don't have to repaint, but you've got loads of different tools, different wigs, different faceplates, different clothes, different pieces to create something just for you. And then underneath that, there was this really cool idea of talking about emotion and having a conversation about how you feel. Do you want to share them? Do you want to express? Do you want to say, this is how I'm feeling today? These are my emotions and how I feel right now when I'm showing you through my doll. Or do you want to just think, this is how I feel right now. I'm going to keep that to myself. I'm going to express myself to myself and understand that today I'm not feeling great. So my doll's going to express that, and maybe tomorrow I'll feel better and I'll express it through her as well. This is such a cool doll, and this is just a great line. And I would love to see more companies take risks with things like this. What an amazing moment in the doll industry. What a really cool time. And I love her. And she's definitely staying like this. Like, I love the clown aesthetic, and she's just super cute and super cool. Right, before I close this video out, I really quickly wanted to interrupt and just kind of like sprinkle some seeds of excitement for you guys. So I've got some really cool videos coming up, and I have left some clues in this video and in some previous videos. You may not be able to exactly tell, but when those videos come out, you'll go, oh, that's what that was for. So if you are particularly astute and clued in, you may know what my next video is going to be. And if you want to guess, feel free to leave a comment down below, because I'm super excited, and yeah, I'm just excited to share it with you. I'm really excited to share the next couple of videos I've got coming. So with all that said, I've basically given you a nothing burger of information and just teased you for the sake of it. So let's get back to the video. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I've just rambled for ages. So hopefully guys, let's keep our fingers crossed. I have managed to make some cohesive thoughts today. I finished my coffee and I think I've just kind of like gone off the rails, which kind of like, I suppose is like a through line with a lot of my videos. But that's all I'm going to say today, because I don't really know what else I can say. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know if you have any creator monsters or inner monsters and what you think about her. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and hopefully I managed to give you something Halloweeny and spooky and ooky and kooky to enjoy this fine October. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.